Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack complex subjects to give you the essential insights you need. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating deep dive. We're looking into a collection of sources detailing the intertwined lives and the enduring, though often tumultuous, friendship of two women, Tully Hart and Kate Malarkey.
Yeah, and our mission for this deep dive is really to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from these really rich accounts. We want to offer you a shortcut, basically, to understanding the profound dynamics of this bond. It spanned decades, right from their formative years on Firefly Lane back in 1974, all the way through the dramatic twists and turns of their adult lives. We'll explore how ambition, love, betrayal, and this unwavering loyalty shaped their journey. And we'll keep connecting it back to what these experiences tell us about human connection itself. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it. We begin in the mid-1970s. It's a time still, marked by the shadow of a lost war. And our sources, they paint such a vivid picture of two very distinct childhoods. They're unfolding on this seemingly ordinary country lane,
Right.
charmingly named after an insect no one had ever seen in this rugged blue and green corner of the world. So let's start with Tully Hart's early life. What stands out from the sources about this formative years?
Well, what's truly fascinating about Tully's early life is just how anything but ordinary it was. Her mother, Cloud, was this, free spirit, often absent, clearly struggling with substance abuse. We get these accounts of Tully being, dumped at her grandparents' house when she's just 2.
Wow.
And Cloud would return erratically. Like for Tully's 4th birthday, the sources say she was drunk and talking about how love is the ultimate high.
Gosh, it's striking how deeply those experiences must have shaped Tully. I mean, imagine being a child, carefully making a macaroni and bead necklace for your mother, who then just leaves you in this teeming crowd at a protest downtown, surrounded by signs like, "Make love not war," and "Hell no, we won't go." That constant longing for her mother's approval, that feeling of being, quote, easy to leave, it really seems like it forged this tough, ambitious exterior in her. Almost like a defense mechanism, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Kate Malarkey's upbringing offers such a stark contrast. She lived in this pretty little farmhouse,
Right.
glowed with warmth, stability.
Right.
But socially, 1974 was described as, a sucky year for her. Her best friends had sort of gone wild and cut her loose, leaving her with books as her only friends. So you have this dynamic, Tully, shaped by chaos, hungry for validation.
Yeah.
And Kate, coming from stability but really yearning for connection, maybe feeling a bit invisible.
Yeah.
This fundamental difference in their early environments, it profoundly shaped what each would seek and sometimes, frankly, struggled to give in their friendship later on.
And this is where their two very different worlds just collide, isn't it? Tully moves in right across the street from Kate. And Kate, who's initially described as socially awkward, kind of an outcast, she's instantly captivated by Tully. Tully's gorgeous, tall and big-boobed, got the low-rise 3-button jeans, the angel-sleeved pink peasant blouse.
The whole look.
The whole look. Tully, meanwhile, she's struggling to fit into what she sees as the hick backwater of Snohomish and initially just dismisses Kate. So how did that initial awkwardness give way to such a strong connection?
Well, the dynamic shifts pretty quickly, and it's a really pivotal moment. Tully, this boldly, coolly different new girl, she offers Kate a makeover.
Ah, the makeover.
Yeah, and it's transformative. It's not just about clothes. It includes the sun-in treatment.
Oh, sun-in.
Yeah, results in streaked blonde hair, making Kate look, quote, almost pretty. But it's more than the looks. This act, it solidifies their bond. Kate realizes being a friend of Tully Hart's meant she was okay. It's about acceptance, perceived belonging.
Right, it's instant status almost.
Exactly. And from that moment, they embrace this identity, the Firefly Lane girls.
But their friendship gets tested pretty quickly, doesn't it? Early on, we see this foundation of loyalty being laid. Tully experiences a traumatic sexual assault by this boy, Pat Richmond, after a high school party. And Kate, even though she wasn't there, she senses her friend's distress. The sources describe her offering this quiet, unwavering support. It marks a really profound moment of just solidarity, quiet loyalty.
It really does. And then another devastating blow for Tully. Her grand dies.
Oh, God.
And her mother, Cloud, abandons her. Again, Tully's 14, facing foster care. And in a truly pivotal moment, Kate's family just embraces Tully. They take her into their warm home.
Which must have meant everything.
Everything. And Tully's promise, I'll never lie to her again, meaning Kate, it just speaks volumes about her gratitude, this newfound sense of belonging she finds with the Malarkeys.
Yeah.
This period, it's full of them riding bikes, inner tubing down the Pilchuck River, but also dreaming together, dreaming of becoming a reporting duo.
The shared dream.
Yeah, a shared ambition that, as we'll see, would soon propel them in quite different directions.
Right. As they move into young adulthood, their paths really do start to diverge significantly. And it seems shaped by those core desires, those needs that were ingrained so early on.
Definitely. Tully's ambition for a career in television news is just, it's a dominant theme, unwavering. She sets her sights on becoming the next Jessica Savage or maybe Jean Anderson. She pursues it relentlessly, even faces rejection at first, from the ABC affiliate, the college newspaper. But she's driven, working 18-hour days, constantly reading papers, watching newscasts.
Wow.
This relentless pursuit eventually leads her to her own show, The Girlfriend Hour.
And her big break, it comes so dramatically, doesn't it? There's a mini-mart robbery. She gets shot.
Yeah, incredible.
Reports live right there. It showcases this fearlessness, leads to her breakthrough. It sounds like such a defining moment for her early career.
Absolute pivotal.
And it's interesting how that breakthrough kind of immediately sets the stage for the sacrifices she'd be willing to make. Like the advice she got from Edna Goober, this formidable figure in news.
Right, that's a key moment. Edna Goober basically reinforces this idea. She says, for my generation at least, you couldn't do this job and be married and forget about kids. And Tully seems to really internalize that, embrace it. She prioritizes the career, sacrificing deeper personal relationships. It highlights that recurring tension, doesn't it? For driven people, that perceived incompatibility of demanding careers and fulfilling personal lives.
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice Tully seemingly made with conviction, but, one that maybe contributed to a different kind of emptiness later on.
And in such stark contrast, Kate's journey is one of choosing a very different kind of fulfillment. She starts working at the same TV station as Tully, right? And eventually meets and falls in love with Johnny Ryan.
Tully's boss.
Tully's boss and a former war correspondent. She describes their connection as feeling as natural as breathing, which presents a classic dilemma, really. What happens when your best friend falls for someone you're so closely connected with? Maybe even someone whose path, in Tully's case, the news path, you might have envisioned for yourself.
It creates an incredibly complex dynamic.
Yeah.
And Kate's decision to marry Johnny, to have children, it marks this really significant divergence from Tully's life path. We learn about her pregnancy, Johnny proposing on one knee, her beautiful ivory silk gown for the wedding.
A fairy tale moment, almost.
It seems like it. She makes that conscious choice to give up her career, to be an at-home mom, believing she's found everything she ever wanted. It's a choice so many women face, isn't it? Balancing that personal ambition with the desire for family.
Definitely. But this part of the story also reveals the burgeoning challenges within Kate's chosen path. It wasn't all smooth sailing. She experiences a miscarriage, which is heartbreaking. And we learn about her struggles with the just relentless demands of motherhood, the sleepless nights, the ear infections, the colic with her daughter Mara, and the toll it takes on her appearance, her sense of self. She even reflects on feeling like a martyr.
Yeah, that's a powerful word she uses. And meanwhile, Tully's on this relentless career path, but she's feeling a different kind of emptiness, sometimes lonely, reflecting on how she feels easy to leave, that old wound resurfacing. And the sources even hint at this brief romantic involvement between Tully and Johnny, discovered by Kate, which quietly strains their bond, even if it's unspoken for a long time. It's this simmering tension just beneath the surface, As Tully's choices, her ambition, start creating these significant fault lines in their seemingly unbreakable friendship.
And as their adult lives really took shape, those intense pressures, those choices, they brought that seemingly unbreakable bond right to the brink.
Yeah, a really significant moment of conflict erupts when Johnny is severely injured in Iraq. Kate is understandably distraught, but Tully, she uses her media access, her position, to get into the hospital and report on his condition. Live. On air.
With a cameraman.
With a cameraman right there in Johnny's room.
Yeah.
Kate's reaction is just raw. She slaps Tully, screams, "He's not your story, he's my husband."
Oh, wow.
It signals this profound betrayal. It drives a huge wedge between them. It's that classic conflict. Professional ambition versus personal loyalty, just with devastating consequences here.
And the rift gets widened further, and so publicly, too. Tully's decision to, well, ambush Kate on her own show, The Girlfriend Hour.
That was rough.
She brings on a psychiatrist to discuss Kate's parenting style, specifically calling her overprotective with Mara. Ostensibly, it's a segment for the show, but it's clearly aimed right at Kate.
Yeah, it felt personal.
Kate's fury is just palatable. She says, "You're taking advice from a woman who doesn't know the first thing about love or family or the hard choices women have to make. The only person Tully Hart ever loved is herself." That public confrontation, it leads to this long estrangement, a truly heartbreaking breakdown of what seemed like such an unbreakable bond.
Yeah, it really did seem unbreakable before that. And while they're estranged, Kate faces these immense personal challenges herself. She's grappling with what the sources call a tiny itch of dissatisfaction in her role as a stay-at-home mom, feeling overwhelmed, exhausted. And then her health starts to decline. It really begs the question, doesn't it? What warning signs do we sometimes miss in ourselves or in our loved ones when we're just too busy or too focused on external pressures or maybe even, holding on to internal resentments?
It's a sobering thought, and the source details Kate's diagnosis with inflammatory breast cancer, IBC. It's a rare aggressive form. It starts not with a lump, but with a rash or a discoloration, and tragically, her family doctor initially misdiagnoses it, calls it a bug bite.
Oh, no.
This critical detail, it just underscores the importance of women knowing their bodies, advocating for themselves in medical settings. It's such a powerful reminder woven into this personal tragedy.
Absolutely crucial. But then, when Kate's illness is finally revealed, it's Tully's return that ultimately brings them back together. Tully makes this indirect apology on air. She uses her show, The Girlfriend Hour, to raise awareness about IBC. She shares Kate's story, calls her family heroes.
Wow.
It wasn't a simple, "I'm sorry," not directly. It was Tully on national television using her platform to advocate for Kate. It was this act of profound vulnerability, really, and public support. What does that tell us about forgiveness, about apologies in these really deep relationships?
That's a great question. I think it tells us that sometimes actions really do speak louder than words, especially in complex dynamics like theirs. Forgiveness isn't always about getting that perfect verbal admission of guilt, is it? Particularly from someone like Tully who, let's face it, struggled with that kind of directness.
Right.
It's about recognizing a genuine shift, an acknowledgement of the pain caused, and a reaching out that truly validates the other person's experience. That public act and Kate's later realization that Tully meant that you were sorry, even without admitting you were a bitch, that really starts the healing. It allows them to finally move past that deep, deep wound.
And in Kate's final months, their friendship becomes their absolute bedrock again. They reminisce about their youth, back on Firefly Lane, about Kate's journal, the dreams they once shared, Kate's last wishes for her daughter Mara, like connecting her with a USC drama program. Those are entrusted to Tully. It just highlights the profound depth of their reconnected bond. It's a powerful testament to enduring love and trust rediscovered.
It really is. And the legacy of that bond, it continues even after Kate's passing. Kate's final thoughts, revealed in her journal, they offer such a poignant reflection. She writes, "Love, family, laughter. That's what I remember when it's all said and done. We were everything we needed. You and Daddy and I had everything I ever wanted. Love, that's what we remember." It is. Tully meticulously plans Kate's funeral. And then, in this final, deeply symbolic act of remembrance, she receives a box from Kate. Inside, a letter and the original macaroni and bead necklace.
Wow, the necklace.
The necklace. It's such a full circle moment, isn't it?
Absolutely. It really speaks to the idea that some connections, no matter the challenges, no matter the betrayals even, are truly foundational. They're part of who you are.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for us, for you listening? The journey of Tully and Kate, the Firefly Lane girls, it offers this incredibly powerful exploration of the enduring nature of friendship. Set against the backdrop of ambition, personal sacrifice, the relentless march of time, all of it.
Yeah.
Their story reminds us that even through profound challenges, through periods of estrangement, certain bonds can redefine themselves. They can grow stronger, not despite the storms, but often because of the storms they weather together.
It's exactly. This deep dive, it reveals that true friendship isn't just about, shared experiences or having fun together, though that's part of it. It's about a profound acceptance, a willingness to forgive, even when it's incredibly hard, and an understanding that even when paths diverge dramatically, that core connection can remain. It shows us that relationships are dynamic, they evolve, they get messy, they get complicated. But with commitment, and maybe a bit of grace, they can also heal and deepen over time.
So as you reflect on Tully and Kate's intertwined lives, maybe consider this. In your own most cherished connections, what have been those moments of divergence or challenge, and how did navigating those complexities ultimately reshape and perhaps even strengthen the bond? What aspects of your own friendships resonate with the deep, sometimes difficult emotional landscape we've explored today?